listening to the Live the Dream Media Network, Arizona's premier live podcast studio and online radio.
The following is a Live the Dream Media production.
Good morning, Marana. Welcome to the local Marana podcast live. And if you aren't in Marana, well, thank you for joining because you are a suburb of what we're doing here, where we're at. So,
there's a great joke about that Chris D. Simone tells. I'll just jump right in there. Hey, Oro Valley, which is where I sleep, just be the best suburb of Marana that you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're on a roll over there, huh?
Yeah. You don't get me started. Yeah, and I said I wouldn't go there, but shame on you guys over there right now. Shame, shame, shame. Do not tell me the fix was not in.
Yeah,
the fix was in. What was that? What was that theater of the absurd for?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are going to just do what you're going to do without paying any attention to reality or law.
Hold on, I have a transcript here of what I'm supposed to read if I go.
Yeah.
Keywords are tip of the iceberg. Hold. Next, folks. Tip of the iceberg.
Oh, man, it got to be a joke. I mean, it was 20 people spoke, 25 in opposition.
Yeah.
The first 2 or 3 might not have mentioned it, and maybe we weren't keen to the keyword, but the last 20 did, and a couple of them used it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be all right.
Yeah. Oh, and hey.
Yeah. Everybody will be all right. Yeah.
You know what? In my head, I already have some solutions to this, and don't think that we won't. This is a promise, by the way, that we won't make that happen. So if you're listening over there in Oro Valley this morning,
and you think your seat's warm,
just enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
because,
just wait.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I'll say.
There's a reckoning coming.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I'm not mad.
I'm just talking over here.
I'm not mad. I'm really not mad. This is mad. I'm disappointed, but I'm not mad. It's just like, what was that? What was that? What if you'd have been there, which we were, what was that? What were you trying to accomplish? Because we do an hour and a half and we're all fired up and everybody's just slamming people and there was slander for sure taking place and just abuse. Kind of like, remember the time that our dear friend Terry Rosema, the town manager in Marana, was up at
he was on the chopping block up there,
Just, is there no civility left at all? I mean, you can disagree with people, but just, and then do a quick executive session and come out, boom, 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 7-0. Come on, come on. It's so absurd that it's absurd,
right? And I'm going to say the same thing that I tell everybody. Go to the voting polls.
Yeah.
Go to the voting polls if you're not cool with what's going on.
Well, I'm not cool.
Yeah. I can see that.
I'm not cool. And it's not the outcome again, because we're talking a God thing.
Right.
And God wins. That's just the way it works. But the absurdity of the theater that was put on.
Tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg.
We'll call it that. We'll call it the play.
Amateur theater.
Tip of the iceberg.
Is just, it's a joke.
How many times do you think you heard tip of the iceberg?
25 times. No, I'm not kidding. And it could have been more.
The people on the Titanic would not appreciate that.
It got to where there was laughter kind of like each time, and it was from both sides of the room. I mean, it was like, okay, when's it going to come? Is it going to come in the first 30 seconons? Is it going to come in the
y'all
end?
started betting in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
ESPN, did they get in on that?
Yeah. Look, if you'll look in the replay of it, there's a little odds over on the box.
Yeah. I'm glad we're talking about that on the show today. I want people to be aware of kind of what's going on and take time to read some of the stories coming out of Oro Valley in regards to some planning and zoning stuff that's going on with it.
And same with Marana.
In Marana,
absolutely.
Same.
Or Tucson or anywhere.
With that.
Hey, do you remember back when our dear late friend Ed Honey was freaked out and it failed, but the state was going to take over zoning and planning.
Oh,
The
yeah, that was
state-
in legislation.
This was
yeah.
this was in legislation, and the state
That'd
was
been
going to
scary.
take what's insane. Somebody's going to sit in an office somewhere in Phoenix or where it would have been in Phoenix.
Do you remember who brought that legislation forward? Are they still in there?
I don't.
Did they get
I
back
don't.
in?
We need to. You know what? We don't know. I don't know.
We'll
But
let Chris have them.
We'll let Chris have them.
If you guys don't know, the infamous Christopher DeSimone,
Yeah.
who does the show Wake Up Tucson.
Infamous, famous,
Infamous, famous.
Just depends on whether you're getting roasted by
Charismatic,
him.
informative, it depends if you're getting roasted by him or not. Either way, it's a great show. He's been doing it for 15 years.
Yeah.
He's proven to help with a lot of impact
Yeah.
and change,
Yeah.
and he is joining Live the Dream Media
less than 2
Network.
weeks. he's on that AM station that
Yeah.
is quickly becoming a dinosaur. He's
Yeah.
on that AM station that just. Do you know what was it? Only 10% of they did a survey recently.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants Bluetooth in their car.
Or direct connection. Yeah.
There's some kind, so they can play it off their streaming or whatever. I think it was 70% wanted FM in their car. 10% wanted AM. You think we're going to build a market on 10%? It's gone.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, some of the new 2025 cars do not have AM as an option.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a good run.
It did.
The AM radio was created in 19. Actually, I believe I was doing a deep dive over Christmas. I think it was invented in like 1913. Is when this guy, and I can't think of his name right now, started broadcasting in San Jose, California.
Yeah.
Just to the marketplace around there. 1913, David. So AM radio had a pretty good run.
Right. And it served as an amazing medium.
Absolutely.
And I don't think it's ever going to go completely bye-bye.
No, it's going to. No, it will, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it. There's going to
The towers are expensive,
We
yes.
just won't. How much we just read? Towers cost like $700,000 per tower or something like that, and then you got to have FCC approve
Licensing,
it,
yeah.
and then you got to pay yearly fees. Well, now, why would anybody in their right mind put that kind of investment when you don't have to anymore?
Right.
So it will go away, but it will just be replaced. I mean, it's not like people aren't going to listen to stuff in their car or at home. I mean,
Right.
people are. They're going to. The transistor radio is here.
Right. I see you on your screen there.
Yeah,
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Christopher DeSimone's going to join us. He's going to start January 27th.
How do
This
you
is his
get
first show.
him? How do you make sure you get him every day from 6 to 9?
All right. So the cool way to get him is, I understand at that time a lot of y'all are going to be driving and you're probably going to be on the move doing different things. That's where our new online radio app is going to become really handy, because you can, have it Bluetooth to your car, plug it in however you want to go about it, and save your battery a ton. Instead of watching our shows on the other platforms like YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. So you can go on those platforms if you're able to and listen. And this is live, right? So this is going to be live stuff, just like ours. Right now we're live. So if you're wondering if this is pre-recorded, this one right here is not pre-recorded.
If you're watching this January 15th and it's roughly 8:45, we're sitting right in here live.
So that's the best way to do it, is just listen in on the app if you want in the audio format. But if you're really wanting to watch the episodes, because we're going to have video, you're welcome to do so on all those platforms that I said: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I feel like, and X. Yeah, we'll be on X. So stream away. We do have some other streaming stuff coming in the future. We're not going to get into that yet, but stream away and have fun and join Chris.
We're going to get into that a little bit, David. We're going to have a TV app coming probably. We don't want to burn money just to burn money, but is it fair to say early spring?
It's a good estimate, yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking somewhere like March or April, just because here's the conversation that we have in here. David is thrifty. He's not cheap, but he's thrifty. He's conservative with money, which is someone you want running your money, by the way. I know we got to get it to start playing with it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, let's get it. Because there's no way to practice and get good at what you do until you do it.
Yeah.
And we also have another radio station coming,
We do.
real soon.
We do. We are going to be launching a Christian radio station here in the next couple months that we are going to put some stuff on, some awesome music, some great testimonial stuff, some more podcasts and everything. And, we've been working on that element on the side for a couple of years, but really exciting stuff. And I look forward to all the new things. And then if you're worried about the show times, guys, not much is going to change when Chris comes. Southern Arizona Sports Talk is going to go to the 9 a.m. slot on Fridays. Clint Peak Show is going to have a couple days. We'll have a little more refined schedule coming up, but Clint is booking guests like crazy because everybody wants to come on here and hang out with him. Yeah. So the Clint Peak Show is going to be popping up quite often in the week. And then Ron Arenas with Southwest Flavor. He has one day now, but something tells me he's going to be doing a lot more here.
He sat right there in that seat and shouted it out yesterday.
And of course, you can catch that show on our Live the Dream Media podcast channel. Another thing that we've been doing that's really cool.
Let's not forget Veronica.
And Veronica
oversharing.
Yeah, her slot's going to stay the same.
And Christine and Bridget with
Backseat Drivers.
Backseat Drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and then there's more. We had people this morning asking to be on the show. We got a lot of people that are coming. We're going to fill out probably somewhere in the neighborhood 6 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. And then those shows the minute that we're done live, they now go on all the other platforms to go back and restream them. And full disclosure, that's when a lot of people do see or watch or listen to a lot of our stuff is after the fact, not during, which is the beauty of when you're too young to remember this. I interrupted you. I want you to finish up and then I'll come back to that.
No, it's great. The whole, we have a few thousand people watch us live. I think Chris is going to jump that dramatically. So you'll have a bigger, denser live audience. But yeah, post-production stuff gets a lot of views. I heard Joe Rogan and Mark Zuckerberg talking about it on their podcast together. If you guys haven't got a chance to listen to that, you should.
I saw little clips of it.
It's just one of those amazing things where everybody was calling people conspiracy theorists and all kinds of stuff about the social media censoring and stuff going on during the event of sickness, I'll call it, because I don't want people to. But and Mark went on there and confirmed that Biden and his administration were calling and threatening and yelling at his staff to take stuff down.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, absolutely. I believe it.
I believed it too. Everybody's like, what's going on? I'm like, I wonder the signs point. But yeah, it was a great episode. But they also talked about podcasting and how it's this really awesome medium that everybody's wanting to get into. And Joe Rogan was really talking about what it takes to make it happen, right? And you were talking about what it makes it happen. What is 90% of podcasts fall off after episode 3?
There's 4 million right now on Apple. 4 million, and only 10% are actually posting anything. Everybody, they're going to podcast. I'm going to do my health. I'm going to do my new book. I'm going to talk about finance, whatever, my hobby. Three episodes and they're done. And that's unfortunate because everybody starts with 0.
Right.
Don't give up so quick. I mean, do 100, and if you have nothing going, maybe or 50 or 25, do 2 dozen.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have any traction, then maybe give it a break and try to figure out how to get more traction.
Yeah. And you got to have an expectation of what you're trying to do with it and what you want to get out of it. Because here's the harsh reality here, Clint. How many years did we do this before we launched?
A couple
years, right?
Yeah.
2-3 years.
And we did a lot over those 2 or 3 years. I mean, we did. But you know what? We hung in there long enough. And I'm going to give a shout out to, again, our late friend, Ed Honey. Kind of changed the direction because he gave us credibility.
Right.
He introduced us to a lot of people. He started bringing people to the table. People were watching now because we had the mayor on. He was very entertaining. He was very energetic. He Marana's biggest cheerleader. And he gave us credibility, I think, as much as anything.
Right.
And then we had a couple other cool hosts, our guests that come in, Bob and Beverly Elliott, who were just here yesterday. I don't know if there's any seats left, but we're going to go hang out with Dr. J tomorrow.
Yep.
How cool is that?
Pretty cool.
Very, very cool.
Pretty dang cool.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
I won't say who it was, but one of the people going with us said, Clint, that's the top 5, one of the top 5 people I'd want to meet from a professional athlete standpoint. And I said, yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I was talking earlier, and then I interrupted. You were talking, and then I interrupted you, but I want to finish that. Back in the day when I was growing up, and that was a long time ago, but if you missed your TV show, you just didn't get it until they rebroadcast it the next. It was rerun season, so TV stations, just to kind of give a brief history of TV, would start their fall season. Mm-hmm. They'd make a big deal about all the coming shows, and this is on Monday at 7, and must-see TV and all that. And it was primarily where I lived. It was 7 to 10. That was the primetime TV stations or TV shows. If you missed it, you just missed it until rerun season, which would start like in January, let's say, February.
Yeah.
And then if you missed it there, you just missed it. You didn't see it. There was no way to... There was no YouTube or streaming channels. And then we got VCR, and you could set your VCR. And I'm talking now by the mid-'80s. So from the beginning of TV till the 80s, so TV, let's say 40s, when it really, 40s and 50s. So if you missed TV, there was no... Now, I'm sure you're like we are at home. They're streaming. I can watch anything I want. Pretty much for free. I mean, there are a few that have pay barriers or you rent them, but I can watch any TV or movie or show ever created in the history of TV and or cinematic movies and stuff whenever I want in the comfort of my own home. High noon, middle of the night. I don't do the middle of the night stuff. I'm asleep, but
I remember in the middle of the night when I was young, it was those like music albums that nobody buys. Yeah. They would play like the music and then the video.
Yeah. Keep in mind, David was born in the late 80s. Yeah. Late 80s.
Late 80s. I'm an 80s baby.
So you're talking early 2000s.
Yeah.
2005 and in that era when you're a teenager, maybe a little older, right?
Yeah. So, you know what's cool? You know what's cool too about our app?
What's that?
Guess how much it costs?
Yeah.
$0.
Free.
It's free. We don't take any. We don't take any of your information. We don't ask for your email address. You don't ask for anything. You just go on there. You know what? And enjoy yourself.
Let me encourage you to sign up for it now because it may not, with the demand, may not always be free. Yeah. But if you're in there now, if you're one of the charter members, and we've got a few thousand of them in there now. If you're a charter member, we're not going to charge you at some point.
Right.
There's the benefits of being the first ones there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we'll ever charge. I don't know that that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what we do or not. That's not part of our business model now.
No,
but I mean,
it's not.
Down the road it might be.
You never know.
If there becomes value, we might throw a $5 a month or $2 a month or.
And
there's this thing called supply and demand. I mean,
right.
If the demand's there, we'll probably charge a couple of bucks. But
right. And we get questioned quite often about how to get on like our network and stuff like that. There's a pretty thick evaluation process that goes into people coming into the network. And but there's another option for you if you're looking if you're just getting started, you know, and you want to like just get a feel of things. You can rent the studio, this space here, hourly on the weekends. You'll get a recording of your session in video and audio, and you can stream it live to whatever platforms you have from the studio. So if you end up wanting to do your own show, you still can, and you can come here and you don't got to go buy all that equipment. And then, I read something that I think you sent me that podcast equipment is the most amazing, funnest thing that gets to collect dust after a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I got a whole list of those. We'll rattle those off at some point.
But we're going to go to break. After we get back, let's talk about the Cortero and I-10 interchange and what's going on there and clear up some stuff going on there.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. It's a new year, but we still have air conditioning and heating systems at last year's prices. We have high-efficient inverter systems for as low as $89 a month. For year-round comfort, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in Southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net. We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles. Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
There we go.
All right, Cortero and I-10 is this area on the map in this region that everybody both loves and hates. There's great options for food, businesses, Walmart's over there, In-N-Out's over there.
Growing both sides too now. The east side's growing pretty.
There's a hotel, car wash, home, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
medical facility.
Anybody in this community who has ever used Cortero knows that for whatever reason, just like at Tangerine, the railroad loves to stop the trains.
They love flexing their money, muscles, don't they?
And disrupting a lot of flow. And then, I mean, we love trains. We know that stuff needs to happen. We need trains and everything. But, seeing this amazing architectural idea of where they put the bridge over the train tracks at Ina and Ruthroff and Prince and these other ones, people couldn't help but go, man, what a dream that would be to do that at Cortero.
Yeah.
And some information came out about funding for the project that became available. And there's a lot of people on social media going, oh yeah, this is like going to happen like tomorrow. This is going to, here we go. Yeah, about time. But you understand, because you have a great relationship with a lot of people in town, Clint. Yeah. And I think it would be a huge advantage for the folks listening and everything to kind of to know what you know about the project and how reality needs to set in and about it, and where this funding is for this project.
Well, you mentioned, and I saw that, and Tammy, my wife said, "Hey, Clint, got to read. It's an easy, it's pretty easy to understand. They're talking about a $20 million funding that was given to the town of Marana. The project's going to cost well in excess of $200 million." The $20 million you're referring to is basically the plan, to create a plan. That's what the money goes for. So
it's a starting point.
It's absolutely.
We ain't going to see excavators flowing up.
I remember this. I remember when we moved into this plaza. That's my wife and I, and my mother was still with us at that time in Copper Creek Cookies. And that was in 2008. We were already hearing that there was, that Ina Road was going to be a reconstruction. That started in 2017. Mm-hmm. So there was nearly a 10-year gap from when we became aware of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how long prior to that there was. So there has been talk about Cortero now for quite a while. Mm-hmm. My best guess, and I'm guessing, I haven't talked to anybody, there's no timeline, just listening and paying attention. If it started by 2030, I think that'd be pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
Because you got the plans, they're going to draw these up. And then you got the railroad controls a lot of what happens. The money is fairly easy to come up with the money, and certainly a need. and I have a voice in my opinion. There's a lot of ways to do that. That maybe we could do it. It still costs $200 million, but we could do it because the traffic is the biggest problem with the traffic at Cotero. If you know where I'm talking about, it's eastbound because that's where the train is. The train is on the eastbound side of all that. So if you can steer traffic, and there's plenty of public domain or eminent domain properties in there that you wouldn't affect anybody's housing, way of life. Anything at all. If you know that territory over there, there's a lot of big, tall power lines. And the East Coast uses it. There's some places in the West Coast. There's a place up in Phoenix that uses like a specific direction exits that you could, especially the westbound traffic going east would be really easy. That'd be really easy because all you're trying to do is clear that track for the eastbound traffic. That's why it clogs up. The eastbound that you want to go east, that's a little tougher because you're going to have to go over the tracks and at some point clear something. But yeah, I hope it happens sooner than this. But I'd say and completion. That's the footprint. Hey, I'm going to say it. This should have been done a long time ago. A lot of the things that have happened, and I hate to say it, and again, if I'm going to blame anybody, I would blame the railroad for just being kind of bullies when it comes to this kind of stuff. It'd be easier to move the railroad than it would. I mean, I'm talking about a bridge. I'm not talking about moving the railroad. I mean, the railroad's been there probably, I'm guessing, 100 years or more, probably long before, any paved roads were there.
Right.
And the necessity there is incredible. I think we could do a better job timing them. You might be pretty busy all night. But you mentioned Prince and all those other roads. Cotero should have been ahead of those, let's be honest about it. Because Cotero's got to be maybe, if next to Ina, maybe the next most traveled road in the county.
Yeah.
At least up on this side. Tangerine is a horrible mess. Marana is a horrible mess. So we got two other roads in Marana, two other exits that for me personally, I would tackle those first. I'll be honest. I'm sorry to the folks that live in Continental Ranch and stuff. I'd almost tackle those others because you need to get ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And Ed and I talked numerous times about it. Put a Moore Road exit in. Put a Moore Road exit, which would be between Tangerine and Marana. You're steering people into where all the growth is. Then you go fix Tangerine and Marana because you've already taken the pressure off with the new Moore Road exit, like they did with Twin Peaks. There's no problem there because they just put a new.
Yeah.
They didn't have to replace anything. So get ahead of the game for a change. And again, I'm not holding Marana officials accountable for this entirely by any means. There's state, there's federal, there's ADOT, there's federal, there's the railroad. They're in front of Marana, although Marana has leaders. And you and I talk to them all the time. Hey guys, let's get ahead of this game. Let's play ahead once in a while rather than behind. And that takes forward thinking, visionary leaders.
Well, I think it's often talked about how efficient the local governments are compared to as you go higher and higher. I mean, Congressman Wansis Kamani, when he was on with us, was talking about how there's a ton of red tape and inefficiency within the federal government that, Elon Musk and Vivek are going to, work on bringing down. And the same thing happens with these kind of projects from what we've studied and seen. And, I love the enthusiasm and the hope. But like you said, I mean, Colorado Ranch is going to be okay. They got 2 feeder roads. Ina and Twin Peaks both feed into the area. There's times, man, I just go to Twin Peaks because
why avoid Cotero unless I absolutely have
I'm
to?
like, do I want to gamble? It's like roulette, right? Like, am I going to just gamble? Am I going to catch this train and lose another 15, 20 minutes? Or am I just going to drive an extra 3 minutes to get on Ina and go do the same thing? So it's...
I've started doing that with Twin Peaks on Tangerine, too.
Yeah.
Because if Tangerine can back up to Trico, and there's no escaping it. There's no side street or anything at that point that you can go to.
No.
So hit Twin Peaks, you're going to move.
Right.
Unless there's something, a collision or something, some kind.
Yeah.
It's open.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's going to be open. You're going to eventually get where you're going. Trico, you can be, if there's a problem, you could be trapped there all day.
Yeah.
Marana Road's not far behind that. Cotero, if you're going westbound, you're going to get there sooner or later.
Right.
Eastbound, you might be there a while because of the train and the backup. And the real problem then becomes not only is it backed up, but now you're backed out on the highway, the freeway, the I-10. And, everybody's doing 75, 80 miles an hour, and you're in still on the highway.
Mm.
So it's a problem that needs to be addressed. But there's to me, I would take the pressure off of that. And like you say, use Twin Peaks, use Ina. You're not going to get clogged up. Well, you are, because now they've got construction between here and.
There's I feel like every 3-4 days there's an accident on the interstate.
Yeah.
And it's only down to 2 lanes.
Yeah.
I was driving down and I could see the freeway not moving this morning, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
And unfortunately in Arizona, more than a lot of other places, Arizona is pretty bad about this. There's one way in, one way out a lot. We were talking to Vice Mayor
Roxanne
on what, Monday? We had lunch with her, and Dove Mountain's kind of that way.
Yeah.
One way in, one way out. So if there's a catastrophe of some kind,
yeah,
you're pretty limited, and that's something as we grow as a community, and we're growing like crazy, especially up here in the northwest part of Pima County, Marana, growing like crazy. I mean, when I moved here 22 years ago, it was 22,000. Now we're at 60.
Yeah.
Depending on who you listen to, we've tripled in size. Mm-hmm. We got to have infrastructure, and we need to be real proactive when it comes to that.
Right. Hey, if you want to join in on this conversation with us and talk about your experiences on these roadways and any thoughts you have for them, you are welcome to call in at 520-477-1106.
Yeah, thanks.
And join us here on the show, talk about it. Raul, way to go, dude, pulling up the number. He's so good. I was just telling him this morning, I was like, I think back to the first day that he was in there on his own.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Probably
stressed,
what?
And now he's just in there with his eyes closed.
When
doing
did
all
you
this.
start? Maybe I know you started.
I think it was
in
like August. Yeah,
I know you
August.
started in August. I don't know when
we
you
put him
started
in there pretty
running
quick.
August or no. I started being in the box full time in September.
September. But you started here in August.
Yeah, started the show late August.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's when we really started cranking.
And we're just bringing forklift pallet loads to him right now.
Yeah,
we were talking to him earlier. I looked right at him. I'm like, "How old are you?" He's 24. I'm like, "Yeah, you should be working 100 hours a week."
If you are interested in working with the Live the Dream Media team, we are looking for a couple talented folks. Okay, and when we say talented, talent to us is more than what you're able to do skill set wise.
Attitude,
character, integrity.
Consistency.
Those are the things we look for first. We can teach you a bunch of this stuff, but if you feel like you might fit the role and you know some marketing stuff, you know how to build advertisements, or you want to be running the room and learn production, or if you're a student that's looking for an internship, we have plenty available. We would love to have an intern for every one of our show hosts, which would be, I know it's a big ask, but it's totally available, and we'll do whatever your organization needs to complete that. We do work with the University of Arizona, so if you have any issues and they're wondering who we've worked with, we have worked with Eller at the University of Arizona, and we continue to do so. The other thing is, I want to recognize somebody that had a phenomenal season in Marana and was recognized by the Marana Unified School District Governing Board. This person played his heart. He had a phenomenal career just in general at Marana High School. I know he won a ton of awards. I think I've seen him with a different trophy almost every week.
Deservedly so.
Yeah. But, here us at Local Marana, I felt that we needed to express our appreciation for what he does on the field and off the field. I've heard a lot of good things. The Roebuck family is amazing. They're just incredible people all the way around. I know they're avid listeners of the show. And Desmond, way to go. We look forward to seeing you thought he's gonna be wearing that purple in Washington. Right now, that's where he's going. But yeah, we look forward to seeing you in the next level and doing things and continuing your path to greatness, man. And it's we just give him applause, man. It was a great season. Way to win. We give you the athlete of the year award from local Marana.
Yeah.
You know, it's spectacular. I know he's going to play some other
stellar
sports.
young man.
So I'm not
and
surprised
like you
if he
say,
does some
from a
other
stellar
stuff, but
family.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to put that in here in the show this morning.
I gotta mention, he's playing basketball right now.
Is he doing awesome?
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. I just saw him. I saw his brother yesterday. I'm like, you guys playing basketball right now? He's like, yeah, we don't take breaks.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I grew up in that same environment. No breaks. You know what? It keeps you out of trouble. It keeps you motivated in line because you got to keep your grades up to play the sports. So, I mean, I get it. Plus, it's fun. Like what?
Yeah.
What else would you do?
Yeah.
Eat Cheetos.
It was
and sit on the
blended
couch?
too.
Huh?
It was blended. You were still playing basketball.
Yeah, you had to
and you were already getting ready for baseball. You know, and I grew up in a cold weather climate, so wasn't a lot of stuff going on. But you were already getting ready for baseball before the basketball season was over, and then you were still playing baseball into the football season. You know, yeah, we played every day, all day.
Yeah, I knew cats in high school that were like, "Oh, I'm only
Every
going to play
day, all
one
day.
sport," and I'm like, everything ties into everything.
Yeah.
Why would you just, I don't want to get hurt. It's like, well, you could still get hurt playing your one sport or at home. It's like, come on.
You know what? I never thought about that when I was playing, that I might get hurt. I did get hurt, but I never thought about it.
That's when you get hurt.
That's when you get hurt. You know,
I don't wanna
I've
get hurt.
told this story before. I'm going to really quickly tell it. I grew up in a rural area in the southern Illinois, and we had our own full blown basketball court. Thank you, Mom and Dad. They paved it, and we had our own basketball court with markings. We had our own baseball field, which converted to a football field with backstops and markings, and it's kind of a pseudo football or goal post and a pitching mound and all that. And we were just out there. If we weren't busy doing homework or chores, or we were playing whatever sport was in season.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. I feel like,
and we just don't that.
I think, children's. I saw something like, we slowly taking away children's childhood experience with devices.
Yeah,
you know?
I bet. I don't know. Maybe my brother would challenge this, but I don't think he would. I bet we spent, as long as it was daylight.
Yeah,
we were outside playing.
Yeah.
In our yard, whatever sport was in season. If it was football season, we had buddies show up. I mean, you might be 3-on-3, you might be whatever, but you always had 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 kids playing at any one time. You know, it was basketball season. It's cold outside. And then the gym where I went to school there at Opdyke, they'd leave the gym open or leave the back door open a little bit. And can you imagine if that was happening today? That you left the school open so people could go in. And men, I remember the kids would play the dads, we'd be in there playing, and be a bunch of 40-year-old dads running around in there, playing the 12-year-old
pulling hammies.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, we smoked them, if I remember. But can you imagine leaving the door open to a gym in today's environment?
Oh. Yeah, I don't.
Especially after listening to Chris DeSimone's show this morning. And
so I'm watching the screen here with Raul, and he's getting ready to play some bumper music.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you something, Raul. Garth Brooks ain't on Spotify, man. That ain't even him. That's a tribute band.
Yeah.
Yeah, he don't put his music on anything.
You're right on that, man. What's the name of your guy?
All right, Cameron Whitcomb. Guys, if you haven't heard his music, it's pretty awesome. You should go check it out. Yeah, it's Cameron Whitcomb. It's like WHITCOMB. If you just type that, you should be able to find.
Hey, just a quick thing about Garth Brooks. I remember when he first came out in the late 80s, man, he was the...
Like out of the closet or like just...
no. You know what?
Music.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
The dude, I mean, come on, Garth. He's like Ricky Henderson, rest his soul. Always spoke about himself in the third person, and
I like his music a lot.
Garth,
yeah,
the old stuff, the new stuff,
like Thunder Rolls and
Thunder Rolls is pretty good. What was it, Mama? What was the song about Mama and the truck driver and what was?
Gosh dang, is Mama wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
if you guys know, throw it in the comments. Help us out.
Drove the semi through the hotel room. Daddy loved, Papa loved Mama.
Papa loved Mama. There it is. Yeah, and he went to prison. Yeah, you loved her, all right.
Yeah.
Just do the quitter for the bumper music. So we're at online radio now, so we can play music, and Facebook's really cool about it too. So
the dance was a pretty good one.
Dance.
Friends in low places.
But all right. We're going to get ready to go to break. It is that time. When we get back, we will talk about some upcoming plans, how you can get involved, and we will close out this show and get you ready for what's next. Clint Peak is going to be on the mic some more today.
I'm going to be on the rest of the day.
You got 2 shows today?
I got Alan Murdoch and I got Craig Coulter.
All right. Love it. All right. We'll see you soon. Be back.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. It's a new year, but we still have air conditioning and heating systems at last year's prices. We have high-efficient inverter systems for as low as $89 a month. For year-round comfort, call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or PictureRocksCooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net. We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles. Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net.
We're back. All right, it's our last segment of the day. Been so fast. This is only the second one of the new year that I've been on. I know you're going to be on 25 by the end of the week or something like that.
So I'm going to ask you right now. We haven't discussed this in a while. When is Headspace going to make its appearance? And you know what? Don't tell me I'm just thinking about it. I need a date.
No, I've been thinking about bringing the show back. Right now, my focus with
busy,
here is
guys. I'm telling you, this is one of the most busy people in the county. There's no doubt in the state. Mm-hmm. I mean, you are, David. I'm going to acknowledge.
I won't deny that. Neither would my wife.
and not only is he busy here, but he's busy at home with 2 children, building a life with his beautiful wife Alex, and all that good stuff, and then working because you and I were texting each other last night at 9:30, I think, and then we started texting each other this morning, in a group thing about before 7. And you'd been up probably 2 or 3 hours at that time. So the guy is really super busy. But being the pusher that I am, and I told somebody that last night, I am a pusher. I'm pretty insistent.
Right.
You need that show. You need that show. Your audience needs that show because what you bring to the table, you're almost cheating the listening, the viewers and the listeners by not having that because we get on and we yuck it up, but to have your own thing is, to me, when you were doing now, you had some incredible guests on, and primarily a lot of younger people, and you just need our audience needs that. So
I agree. Yeah.
you accept the challenge.
Oh,
and do it-
I accept
do
the
it in
challenge.
Can we just go ahead and say in the next 45 days to 60 days? That puts you at the end of March.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have everything.
And you don't have to
in
do a
line
5 day a
operationally.
week, 3 hours a day kind of thing like Chris.
Yeah.
But you need at least 1 or 2 hours every week. That's the David Samorano
No, I'm
show.
gonna
for
make
the
it
lack
happen,
of-
and I appreciate you saying all
Yeah.
that really kind stuff. I really do.
Well, you know so many cool people and have access to them. A lot of younger people. No offense, but my audience is the people I know and hang out with. If you'll look at them, there's. I mean, I'm not calling them old because I don't think any of them are old, but they're older.
Right.
You know, they're 40s and 50s and 60s, and the people that you hang out with are 40s, 30s, and 20s, and we need that mix.
Yeah.
So for selfish reasons.
I need to do that. Yeah. You know, I'm pumped to do that, and I'm pumped for everything going on. I would be lying to people if I said that this huge growth spurt we're in right now is easy to manage. It's not. I was talking to my cousin Jessica Motes the other day about it, about how God has blessed us all in an immense way, and that you know, we always get. She said something about like once you have all this food on the table and or you have all this bountiful blessings and stuff, sometimes it can be overwhelming, and then you start going, well, where's the operational manual? You know, and so, but those are the things that we are sent to figure out as children of God, and I thank everybody for being part of it and helping us with this, and you know. Once I get through the mud, I always tell you I'm in the mud, and I love every bit of it. So if you think I don't like it, you know, I love it. But once I get through the mud, I think Headspace is going to come back. I want to get some of these younger people that are getting involved here. I want to get them in a position to succeed and not feel overwhelmed. So we'll get there. But I'm coming back. So if you want to be on my show and you're hearing this and you're thinking about jumping on with me and talking about something, you're more than welcome to. The Headspace podcast we talk about all kinds of different things. If you have a subject matter you want to talk about, we'll do it, and sometimes I come in with, something, and I'll ask and interview people, but there's a lot to talk about, especially in our age group, and we've seen a lot of crazy stuff go on, a lot of this weird DEI stuff that, just all kinds of different things. And, the curtain's off. Yeah. Everything's exposed. Yeah. It's all been problematic. So we'll talk about it if you want.
He mentions the growth here, and there are times over the last, let's say, 90 days. We've known a lot of stuff was happening and going to happen for the last 3 or 4 months, right? Mm-hmm. And now that it's happening, we look at each other almost like kids, that have been caught with their hands in a cookie jar. Like, can you believe this is going on? Can you believe this is what's happening? Mm-hmm. Like, we're giddy. I wake up every morning and I'm like, my feet hit the floor. I'm ready to go. Mm-hmm. I said that to Ron. I get to come down here and hang out with you guys, and everybody's young. And David now at 36 is the old guy in the room.
Yeah, I am.
And, well, I'm the old guy in the room, but he's the next old guy in the room often. And we get to hang out with young, talented, like if you're, I love kids. I love your kids. Mm-hmm. I was out with Missy and her boys the other night, Tammy and I. They're fun, they're happy, they're discovering life for the first time, and just that awareness, and what's the word I'm looking for? Discovery.
Curiosity.
Curiosity, and you know what? That's kind of where we are in this. And you mentioned the blueprint or operating manual. You know what? There isn't one.
No, not for this. Wild West. We're creating one.
We're building our own, and there's mistakes made along the way, and a couple of times we arm wrestle over how we're going to do it, but there is no operating manual for what we're doing at all. Yeah, there isn't. Mm-hmm. There's pieces or segments because there are people doing podcasts, there are people doing social media, there are people doing marketing, but no one that I'm aware of. And again, if any of our listeners know of anybody that's doing kind of like what we're doing, I'd like to take a look at that package, right?
Right.
But on the same token, I'm glad we don't know. I've heard Craig and Chris both preach this at Oral Valley Church of Nazarene. A flashlight will only shine so far. You can only see so far. Mm-hmm. And it's probably a good thing sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you could see the whole thing, it might freak you out. Mm-hmm. But if you can see little pieces, the next step or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I hate to say it, but it's almost safe. The problem is you and I are in a flash with our flashlights. It's pretty dark, and we're running.
Mm-hmm.
We're running pretty fast. So, there could be a cliff somewhere right there that we're not aware of. So we have to be, and you know what? You fall off, so what?
Yeah. Yep.
I've said this numerous times to all of you. I said it to Sabi on the other day. We were talking, being little older and having a couple more years experience, as long as I know you're not going to run off and hurt yourself like real bad, I don't mind watching you fall once in a while.
Yeah.
Kind of like with your kids. Are you going to run and pick them up every time?
Nope.
And he's got little ones. One's not falling much. One's probably still falling some.
Oh yeah, Nathan. He always just go dust yourself off.
Let
buddy.
me ask you a question. Does Alex want to run to him? Because I know Tammy, when moms have that different.
That's their nature, man. That's what's beautiful
Tammy,
about it. Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let's see if he gets up.
Yeah.
Let's hear what that cry sounds. I know that sounds cold-hearted.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's how bad is this?
Yeah.
Before I react, let's let them react to that situation first.
What's amazing too is the difference between boys and girls. They're so
they're
different,
polar
man.
opposites. There's
my
only
gosh.
there's only 2 sexes, and one's a boy and one's a girl.
Oh, easy. I'm just
come on.
I'm just kidding.
Come on.
I know.
Come on.
But
Stop it.
I know.
I am going to I'm not going to get into that right now, but I am going to get into that at some point. Hey, you know what? Everybody wants to. I'm going to go right now. Everybody wants to be a winner. Is that fair enough? If you're competing in sports or you're a business operator, you want to win. Okay, but do I want to go compete against a bunch of 4-year-olds so I can get a trophy?
No, that would be narcissists.
That'd be how. Do I want to be a grown man and going and competing against grown women so I can get a trophy? The sandbagging that goes on. I'm sorry. I mean, if anybody's offended by that, you know what? Check yourself, because it's just like it's insanity.
What was in your coffee this morning?
That what do you call it? Dragon fire.
Hey, here's the thing though. Yeah. No, go ahead.
Am I wrong? I mean,
No.
really. I mean, there would be people, I'm sure there's a third of the population right now that would, I don't know that they're listening. They probably wouldn't listen to us. But
yeah.
do you think that they wouldn't disagree with me probably pretty adamantly and call me all kinds of names?
Oh, yeah.
But come on. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Adam and Eve, that's the way it works. People have different persuasions and I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about why would a grown man compete against women? Or a grown man compete against children. What's that one kid show where they got a grown guy and he's a baseball player and he's competing against little leaguers? It's like Bush League or one of them.
Bench warmers.
Bench warmers.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Movie.
And he drives up on his car. He's like 30 years old, drinking and smoking, and he's playing against 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
He puts a $20 bill for his birth certificate. He's like, I am 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see that in sports all the time, especially the travel industry part of it. They'll cheat. I mean, right now there was a whole group of parents that were cheating and causing a lot of problems by falsifying. And it happened here in Tucson.
The fact that that's even a point of conversation just blows my mind. But anyways, in a lighter mood, I wanted to get back to the difference between boys and girls.
Yeah.
I'm early in the parenting stage, but it's funny. One's a butterfly, one's a bowling ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you figure out what you can figure out, but no, it's great. And,
you know what that's called? That's called nature.
Yeah.
That's the way the majority of girls are born that way, and the majority of boys are born. Not all.
Yeah.
Because you see a few mellow kids. I know other people we know that's got boys and girls, and you can just see a couple of these boys are just, the couple of them, you better be on alert at all times, because the couple of those kids are the boys. Mm-hmm. They're full blast.
Yeah.
Go to any playground in America and watch a bunch of kindergartners.
I probably wouldn't do that on my own.
In a van.
Oh gosh.
But go watch a bunch of 5-year-olds play. The little boys are pushing and shoving, kicking each other.
They're wild.
Swinging hard. The girls are over kind of like they're
scheming.
all
I call it scheming. They're scheming.
That's what
They're
they're
over
doing.
there
Talking about the boys.
If this conversation in any way, shape, or form has hurt your feelings today, we do encourage you to call the crisis line.
Yeah.
They have a lot of people waiting for you to talk to.
What is that number again? What is that number again?
Not our crisis. No, we're not the crisis line. No, there's a lot of great mental health resources. There's telehealth and all kinds of stuff. If you're dealing with some stuff in either way, or you need some help, recommend you doing that.
Hey, we love you.
Yeah, we love you.
We love you.
Yeah,
but
but there's help for you.
Keep it real.
Here is the closing thing for today. I just got a text message from Christopher D. Simone. You may be coming a little earlier.
Yeah,
so we'll figure that out.
I just saw a little
Here's something, okay. I don't know how to word this. This is live stuff right now. You guys are hearing. So Clint's reading the message.
Well, I kind of saw it.
Now. Chris, if you're watching, listen. I just want you to know we're good.
Yeah. I got a call from him, by the way.
This is I'm gonna close. This is I'm gonna close it out. Relationships are very, very important. The way you handle things and do things now will at some point result in something later. And I want to encourage those that may be frustrated or confused or upset about stuff that's going on. You should tread lightly and you should do it with class. Be kind and work through this. That's all I'm going to say today to close this out.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
No malintent of anything going on, but here's what doesn't stop. The market doesn't stop.
You know what? Based on, I'm going to finish. Let me give me a second. Based on what we were talking about this morning and different things that have happened in our world last night, the things that are happening, it says, I read, this has been attributed to Hemingway, although my research does not find that. Okay? But this quote has been attributed to Hemingway, and it says, the hardest lesson I've had to learn as an adult is the relentless need to keep going no matter how shattered I feel inside. And then it talks about all the different times you fall and all the different things that are unraveling and things keep moving, unrelenting, unapologetic, demanding that we move with it. There's no time to stop. There's no pause for repair, no moment for stillness where we can get gently a piece of ourselves back together. The world doesn't wait even when we need it to. You know, you deal with loss, you deal with grief, and you should when you have loss. Like we've all experienced a lot.
A couple months that were
David and myself and Raul, we've all experienced a lot of really close personal loss that is painful. The grief is there, but you know what? Life doesn't stop, nor would the people that we lost want us to stop. And you know what? You should grieve, and some of the things you're going to grieve forever. Mm-hmm. You just will because of the pain. But that's love.
Yeah.
The when you have a loss that you feel that deeply about, that's a form of love. And you know what? I close every show that I do with, you know what? We need to love each other, and we need to love each other a little bit more, and we need to be nice to each other, even if we disagree. I'm still going to be nice to you. You're another one of God's children, and I will show you nothing but respect and courtesy and decency and care for you. Yeah. Even if I disagree with you adamantly, I'm going to show you that amount of respect. And if we can all get back to that, COVID messed us up when it came to that, David. I became really aware of it. And
and the media messed it up.
And
they messed themselves up. They're done.
Yeah,
it's done, man. Independent media. Here we are.
Yeah,
you're looking at some of it. So
and it's fun.
Yeah.
So I hope we didn't take you guys down a rabbit hole and depress you, because we're not depressed. We're happy. We're excited. There are problems to solve locally, statewide, countywide, nationally. Yeah. You can't do it by yourself, by the way. Mm-hmm. You know, and just be nice to each other.
Just be nice. Here, I'm going to close out with this last thing that I saw the other day, and you'll appreciate this. Light yourself on fire with passion.
I love it.
And people will come from miles to watch you burn.
John Wesley.
Everybody in Marana and everybody watching, we thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to listen to this in post-production, you can find it on the Local Marana podcast channel or the localmarana.com website. Also, if you're looking to sponsor some of these shows, feel free to reach out to us. We'll get you on here.
Let's pay some bills.
Yeah, let's do it. And if you're interested in being on the show, we also welcome you for that. Pay attention to all the stuff we're doing on all of our social platforms, Live the Dream Media, or you can go to livethedreammedia.com or ltdmedia.net, however you want to get to that website. Go check it out, see everything that's going on, and help us welcome Christopher DeSimone to our platform. We're going to have a little get-together January 28th. We're going to have a little kumbaya, hang out, fun session, eat some food here in the venue space. You can RSVP.
And it's all free.
Follow Christopher DeSimone's Facebook page. Do everything you can to see what's going on. And if you want to be part of it in any way, let us know. Let's close this one out, Rob. Let's give us some Cameron Whitcomb and let's sail on into the sunset, brother.
Thank you. We're out.